have this condition called diverticulitis, which it was a miracle that we were able to get me out of the hospital without having to do the drain. You took me up so high that I started to feel the peace and the joy, which I was in a completely non-peaceful, non-joyful state. So
you tell us a little bit what was happening before we started working together?
I have this condition called diverticulitis, which first it happened to me about 10 years ago, and um, then after those 10 years, I've kept it under control because of energy healing. Um, and I haven't had to go back to the hospital. And I myself don't go to the doctor often because I believe in energy healing so much, and it has helped me to not go. And this happened that 10 years later, just a few weeks ago, this diverticulitis that I had completely forgotten about came to surface and just hit me in a really painful way, in a way where I ended up at the emergency. And all of a sudden I was told that I need surgery, and that was a complete shock. And I I had the pain Sunday night. I went to the hospital early Monday morning immediately. And I was there all of Monday, all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday. And by Thursday afternoon, I was able to be discharged. And we saw that there was no chance of me going home. We started working and we did a Zoom call. And you started cleansing the energies that were causing all the blockages. And we did that 2 nights in a row. And by the fourth day, I was able to be discharged.
Fears that make us to go intense was because they said if the condition continue, there was the only thing that will happen is to have surgery in your colon, right? Is that correct?
To have the colon removed.
They say that the possibility wanna be to be the colon removed, and
Well, another thing. So that's the last step. Before that, there's something called draining, where the infection comes out of the intestine and into the abdominal area, and then in the abdominal area, if that infection stays, it goes into your blood system, your nervous system, your whole system, and could be very critical. So my it's called an abscess. So my condition was that an abscess had started to form, which was still um, it was not extremely large in volume, fortunately, but it was big enough that they were already telling me they might need to go in with a surgery to drain it, meaning they put tubes in the stomach and they drain the infection through these tubes, which it itself is a very painful process.
so
And it
that was
takes
all potential negative things in
that,
the future.
right, that's what I would have done, but because of the healings you did, I was able to come out of the hospital with antibiotics. And I came home with a liquid infusion antibiotic to get maximum healing to clear out the infection. So that itself was a blessing, to come out with the IV instead of having a drainage, because the surgery is the last step, and it's something that you don't want to do, and the drainage is the step before the surgery, and that's something you really don't want to do either, because it's a very painful process.
So
The recovery.
that was one of your biggest concern. Don't get to the step two nor the step three, right? No the drainage and no the surgery, of course. Yeah, I imagine that that was your biggest concern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So
It
yeah,
was a yeah. It was, at the time, I remember I telling you that it was a miracle that we were able to get me out of the hospital without having to do the drainage. I remember saying that.
yeah.
It was
By the second day after we work intense. We work for a few hours every time that we talk. And but that was Monday. For I remember in Tuesday, the nurses they already noticed the change, right? Is that correct, or was Tuesday or
uh,
Wednesday
more,
one year?
Yeah, it was more towards Wednesday when they said you're actually producing really good results. You're responding very well to the antibiotic. Because if my body was not responding well to the antibiotic, then draining it would be the next step. So they
You
definitely,
have
yeah.
you have also history of that your body used to react to the antibiotic. Is that
I
true?
also, yeah, for whatever reasons, I have some allergies where um, the antibiotics that other people are okay with, I have really bad reactions where I get rashes and itches, or sometimes choking, chokes up my throat, or just really unpleasant reactions. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a problem because they had to find an antibiotic that could work on me, and then you started working on allergies. So that was another side to it. Yeah.
So in this process, that we've been able having such a painful truth that you have to go to the hospital. Then the hospital, they all the process of getting in that is not pleasant at all. It makes you even worse. That's why we started when you were in the waiting room to
Mhm.
work on your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and your physical body. Um, then what did you learn in this process that we were able working together to get you for the for that was Monday. For Wednesday morning they already are telling you, okay, you might be able to go back home if you keep if you keep going in this direction. What did you learn? What was do you have any specific learning in that moment?
Well, one thing I realized is I didn't realize I had as many negative entities, energies on me as I did, because a lot of times you want to feel that you're much healthier than you actually are, both mentally, spiritually, physically. And even if you're being positive, you want to feel that you're a lot better than you really are.
Correct.
So, yeah, so it would be easy to not acknowledge that whatever inner strength you have, mental strength you have that you're using, and you're still not where you need to be. Maybe there is something else. Maybe there are some entities that are blocking me. Maybe there are some blockages, energies that are getting in the way of me getting to the potential that I know that I have to even heal myself just by being in that thing you said, which was powerful. You said the body can heal itself when the mind is in a high vibration. But if I was in a state of anxiety, my mind was already, and
Fear,
I
worry, or
was,
yeah, that was my next question. Yeah.
yeah, already in a state of anxiety, fear, and worry because I had no idea what was going to happen. And I know about energy healing, I know about the power of the mind, but I had missed the fact that I myself was now in a low vibration state. I may be on my spiritual path,
Which
but
is normal, but it's normal if you are not feeling good and it's completely normal. We all do that, and we even as healers are not
yeah,
sent to have a day that our body doesn't feel good and we are doubting ourselves.
yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier, that because we're on our spiritual path, we like to think that we're always in a high vibration, but sometimes we're not, because if we're dealing with releasing some negative energies, some tendencies, inner purification, we will go lower to some low vibrations if we're in a state of anxiety or releasing anxiety or in a state of fear or worry, and we will not realize that we've dropped our vibration. So when you said that, I said, I completely forgot that what you're saying is completely true about the mind having the power to heal itself, but only if it's in a high vibration. And right now I'm not. So what you helped me do is you took me up so high that I started to feel the peace and the joy, which I was in a completely non-peaceful, non-joyful state. So the healings you do, the words that you use, the experience that you have is very powerful. It it awakens the soul. In my experience, my soul awakened and it started to bring the peace to me, and uh, feeling that I know that this is going to be all right. I feel that it's going to be all right because I'm getting back to the essence of who I am, the soul, the peace, the love, the joy. So um, that's the experience I had. That's what I learned, realized that we can only heal ourselves if we are in that high vibration. And my experience with your healings in this last few days has been that you helped me get there. You helped me get there faster.
Amazing.
And
What are the three things that you recommend to someone that is in fear, anxiety, or worry? What are the three things that you will say to a person that is doubting if there is help or hope?
well, definitely to um, if you're already in a bad place, then you really have nothing to lose. So try it out and see how it can help you. Because the fear itself is what holds someone back. It's these energies that they cloud your straight thinking, and they hold you back from um, knowing that there is help and it can really help you. And it keeps you there because that energy feeds off of the fear and the worry and the anxiety. They're living energies like anything else on this planet. So, but if it's someone who does believe in energy healing, I would say Fernando is an incredible healer. He has done so much for me in a matter of 5 days now, 6 days.
5 days. That was 5 days, right? Because today is
Five,
Monday.
yes,
Today is Monday,
oh,
and we let you rest for the weekend.
yes,
So we
yes.
worked intensively for 5 days, and you were able to go back home. You told me I sleep like I think that was yesterday or the yesterday morning. I think I sleep very good. I have
Uh-huh.
I rest. I feel good. The
Just overall, because before I ended up at the hospital, I was going through a lot of anxiety.
Okay.
For I was going through some massive anxiety and some fear, to a very unhealthy degree of anxiety and fear, and after your healings, I had just this tremendous turnaround where I remembered what it used to be happy and peaceful, because I had truly forgotten, and I knew that there was a time when I was happy, but I couldn't get myself there. But with the words that you use, the invocations that you do, it just reminds the soul who the soul is. And it just brings all that peace and happiness and the belief that yes, I can be happy again. I can have peace again. I can be healthy again. It brought that back to me. And it's just been phenomenal. It's you've brought me back to myself, to my peace, to my joy. You brought me back. Your healings are really powerful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that.
I think we froze.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
great. So, I've been doing the energy work for almost 3 decades, and also the other good part is the system of working as a coach and learning about the coach, the unconscious mind. So it helped me also to be more organized and dosify the healings in a way that to produce the result that is needed, or to open the door for the result that is needed. So,
Mm-hmm.
who would you recommend a coaching, healing and why? To whom would you
Well,
recommend
I'll
my
share
this service?
something with you. One of the things that I was told in my meditations by God, the universe, was that the greatest thing to do always is to remain coachable and to always be open to feedback, because that's how we make sure that we are always improving ourselves and we don't develop any negative tendencies that become hidden that we don't see. So I was told that to make sure that does not happen, to always take on a coach and everybody to take on a coach. It's like a secured, it's like an insurance. It's like a spiritual insurance in life, whether if you're on a spiritual path or not. If you're on earth, if you're conscious, you exist, it's like a insurance you have to make sure that whatever tendency you're starting to develop that it's not for your highest good, the other person sees it, because they don't have the blockers that I have, and I don't have the blockers that they have. You know, a coach or a healer or in that field, to be in that habit of always being humble, to take on a coach, to make sure you don't fall in that trap, because as we get older, we become more engraved in the way we do things, and that's when we stop being a learner and we start to develop a negative side to a capability that is a positive capability. It is possible to develop a negative side to something that we're good at if we become narrow-minded and start seeing only things from our perspective. That's why being open to seeing things from other perspectives is always good for our higher good. So I would recommend it for anyone, just as a life health tactic to have. Making sure the good health of your life is always at the right gauge.
Wow.
The good health of your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from always having a coach from here on. And let me tell you, in my spiritual path, I have always been someone who does things on my own, and I like depending on myself. So I had to go through a lot of pain and suffering to hear that I need to be coachable, because I was told a few times, but I didn't understand what it meant. So it took me a lot of pain and suffering to finally realize what it meant. And then when I realized it, I said, wow, that's a power. It's a power to have, to say to someone, you know what? I know that I'm good at what I'm good at, but I know that I can have a pitfall and I can fall into a ditch if I become too one-sided, too my-sided. And I would love to be coached to point things out that I start to no longer see. So I will for life have a coach. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you that if you were, and I believe, because we all go through the same process, right? I can do it myself. I can do it myself. But how much time, effort, or problem you save?
Leverage that.
Sometimes it's no, I can do it myself. I want to save that money. Saving that money take you. It took me a few decades to be able to overcome my limitations, my learning disabilities, the dyslexia, and all the problems that I had. And I say, why I didn't do this in my 30s? Why I didn't start this earlier? But up to date, I am so happy because you have been an amazing an amazing partner in this partnership of healing. You've been so receptive. Everything that we talk about, you put it in practice. That is why you were able to check yourself out of the hospital in 3 days and being able to get out.
Yes, let me mention that so that it's clear as to why I was able to have such strong, fast results. Receptivity is a must. Because energy is all about openness to receive. So if you're going to get healed out of a situation, but you're blocking the healer out because you don't trust them, you don't believe them, you don't trust or believe them, you're energetically blocking them out. And you're not, the healer could be the most amazing healer, but if you're blocking them out, you're not going to let them heal you, because it's all energy and it's your free will. If you're using your free will to block out the help that's being sent to you by God, by the universe, through another being, which through another healer, or through a healer, not another healer, you have to be receptive. So that's very, very important. The more open you are, the more faster and stronger the healing will absorb into your existence.
Kisso, thank you very much. It's a pleasure working with you. I know that you have to go to your checkout today, so I'm gonna let's close this. So grateful. If there is anything else that you're gonna add to this, please say so. And if not, I see you later. So we continue because we get you out of the problem. Now we gotta put you back into what is your best health blueprint that is there waiting for you to step into. So.
Sure. I will end it with one quick thing. I would say that for anyone out there who is a strong-minded person who does things on their own, and they're always relying on themselves, which is how I was by nature. Um, this work that Fernando does completely changes the way you do things. It's a leverage. He helps you do so much more in a lot less time. So if you're the type of person who wants to only depend on yourself, open up to this possibility and see what it could do for you. It's really miraculous.
Thank you, Kiso. Thank you very much. God bless you. Pleasure working with you. And now is the fun part, because now that we are out of the problem, we're gonna focus on the success. All right.
Yes.
This
Yes.
out of the problem is a big success. So big hug, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
let's continue the
Definitely.
work. Okay. Have an amazing, beautiful day, and let's talk later.
Thank you so much. Blessings.
Bye, Kiso.